the signing ceremony of a contract for immediate dredging works in the port of Banjul and the Banjul and Bara ferry terminals, which followed a process of international tender, and contractors bid, and we are happy that today we have DEME, Dredging International, to sign the contract for the works. As equally, the Niras, which is the supervising consultant, Danish company, to act as a supervising consultant for these immediate works. The whole purpose of the dredging exercise is that it is common knowledge that the main port in Gambia is in an estuary in Banjul, which has restrictions in terms of draft. The depth in the waters is not sufficient for ferry operations, and also some ships that are calling to the port of Banjul. That's why there is the need to do this major exercise, and we intend to remove 100,000 cubic meters to achieve deeper draft for vessels and the ferries to be able to ply. So
to witness the signing ceremony between the Gambia Ports Authority as employers and DEME Dredging International as contractors for the dredging of the port area and the ferry terminals at both Banjul and Bara ferry terminals. We are all aware of the difficult circumstances that the authority have been encountering since the arrival of the new ferry Kunta Kinte. And this project is very, very important, as we are supposed to remove over 100,000 cubic meter of sand and silt at a cost in the tune of over €1 million, all to be financed by the Gambia Ports Authority. So we are very, very happy, glad with the support of our supervision consultant, Niras of Copenhagen, who have been supportive of the Gambia Ports Authority since the 80s and early 90s, and we hope the project would be delivered as soon as possible between end June and mid-July 2018.
Thank you very much, Mr. MD, and thanks to every participant from GPA and from DEME. It has been a pleasure to assist Gambia Port Authority in the negotiations with DEME in the past few days. And for Niras, this is another special moment, another assignment for Gambia Port Authority. As you mentioned, it started in the early 80s. In fact, it started in the 70s somehow when I was still a young engineer. We are very pleased, we are very happy, and we are looking very much forward to work together with DEME on this important project.
Gambian Port Authorities development. It has been a pleasure to study and to negotiate the terms of the agreement together with the GPA and Niras. Those negotiations have been highlighted with high professionalism. We are present in a lot of West African countries along the coast, and Gambia was missing, so we are very happy to enter in a new country for us, for a new business relationship, and we really hope that it's the beginning of a long business relationship.
Thank you very much. The dredging actual tender process started in the last 1 year. However, we have not dredged this port and the ferry terminals for the past 25 to 30 years. So this is the first time that works of this nature will be carried out within the Gambia. So that is why it has been tedious, laborious, and it is also very expensive. But as the harbour master explained, it will increase the berthing capacity of the port. Now we are constrained with handling only 2 ocean-going vessels. With the dredging, that would increase to 5 ocean-going vessels at any point in time. And the ferries is also operating at below 50% of capacity because of the siltation problem. With the dredging also, we can even operate 24 hours with the right demand. We will be able to operate for 24 hours of the ferries. So we thank everybody, and we appreciate the patience of the passengers of the ferries and the users of the Gambia Ports Authority, especially the shipping agencies. We want to assure everybody that in the next 2 months, the problem of the ferries deployments and our inability to handle about 4 or 5 container vessels at any point in time would be a thing of the past.
He said, you know, Banjul Port is an estuary influenced by what? Tide, in and outflow of current. It goes with sediment. So over the years, this has resulted in a lot of siltation, thus reducing the siltation and sedimentation around the ferry landing areas and alongside our wharves. That restrict both the movement of the ferries and the ships coming to Banjul Port. So the impact it will have is, first, you know, ships, turnaround time of ships directly affect the cost of living of a maritime nations. So with these siltations that has taken place in the Banjul Port, that restrict the draft of vessels, and thus their berthing is limited to flow of tide. That is, they can only berth at high water in our inner pockets. So with this dredging, that will improve our capacity to handle deep draft vessels, thus improve on our ship turnaround time, means improving on our productivity. So improving the productivity, that will reduce ship cost. So ship costs will directly impact cost of living, because the cost is transferred into what? Onto what? The cost of commodities. There is this saying that 50% of cost of an article is related to transportation cost. So when ships spend, the more time ships spend on port, the more cost it becomes on ships. So that cost will be transferred to cost of the articles, and cost of articles, and subsequently onto the consumers. So with this dredging, it will improve on our on the capacity of the ports in terms of the size of ships that we handle, and also reduce the time ships will spend waiting to berth. So at the ferry landers also, just recently, there has been advertisements on the vehicle, on papers restricting the movement of vessels. So with ferries, so with this dredging, it will have all that restrictions will be eliminated. Thus the turnaround time of ferries will be also enhanced, and this thing, and their availability. The availability will be improved, significantly improved. In fact, it can go up to 24 hours. Because when all these sediments are removed, their availability will be improved. 24 hours will be able to, even if we are not able to provide the service 24 hours, the restrictions as a result of the siltations and the sedimentation will be out. Tidal restrictions will be completely eliminated. So this will have a very significant impact on our operations.
Thank you all for the kind effort.